Welcome to Something Extra. November is National Adoption Month, and I've brought Jill on the show with me to tell her story of adopting Mac and Katherine. Hi, Jill.
Hi.
Well, let's hear a little bit about your background because I feel that's relevant to your adoption story.
Okay. Yes, I'm from Marblehead, Ohio. I've lived there almost my entire life. I am now retired. I retired in 2021. I was a special educator for 33 years, teaching kids with mild to profound and severe disabilities. And since then I retired, but I wasn't totally retired. I went back and I'm still doing some teaching, but very part-time at a Catholic school in our area.
So you came to a point in your life where you decided on adoption.
Yes, it was probably about 1994-ish. I started thinking about it, but I didn't really say much about it, kind of Googled it a few times. I knew I was 30, I was single, I didn't see having kids the traditional way happening for me, and I'd done everything I'd really wanted in my life. I had my own home, I'd gone to college, had my undergraduate degree, my graduate degree, and the only thing missing was being a mom. So in 1996-ish, I went through the home study process, and I was ready to go in 1997. And probably within days of being fully approved, I started getting calls about different kids to adopt.
But you wanted to adopt a child with disabilities.
Yes, that was always my plan from even thinking about it. My background in special ed and working with kids with disabilities, I knew there were lots of kids who needed homes, so I was very definitely going to adopt a child with disabilities. I didn't specify what disability. I did put some parameters on it, as I knew being single and female, I didn't know what type of child I'd have, and if, as an adult, would I have to take them to the bathroom or that kind of stuff. So I kind of said, there's certain kind of kids I'm not going to be able to take. I wanted a kid who I could travel with and do things with, and my house wasn't accessible, so I kind of put some parameters in it about how severe and how much need I'd be able to care for.
How did your family feel about this?
My family was very supportive of my decision to adopt. They were not initially supportive of my idea of adopting a child with special needs. And not because they were anti-special needs or disabilities. They were very used to my students. My students would come to their house. My students would go to family functions, so they were very used to that. They were worried about me and
being able to handle it.
Yeah, my mental health, and just did I want to do this 24/7 for the rest of my life.
So you get approved and everything. Tell us about Mac's adoption.
Mac's adoption, like I said earlier, one of the parameters I had kind of put on it was I would really prefer a female, a girl child, only because being single and a female, I wasn't sure, like I said, if I would have to take this baby to the bathroom as an adult, how would I handle that if it was a male? And so I kind of I'd prefer a female child. I got called about lots of kids, and many of them I said no to because of the level of care they needed. And I felt terrible about that because I thought, if I'm not going to adopt them, who is? But I had to kind of set my limits. And I remember in December of 98, I got called about a boy who had Down syndrome in California, and he was Chinese. And I can remember when I got the call, I was at my parents' house, and I can remember putting my hand over the mouthpiece and saying, "He's Chinese." And we all like, "Ooh, that sounds so cute." And they told he had some health problems. He was born with transient leukemia. He had 2 holes in his heart. He'd been in foster care. And I kind of said, yes, I'd be interested. Well, they called me in January and said it fell through. They had decided to go with a 2-parent family instead of just me. So I said, okay, and just kind of kept going through the motions of it. On April 12th, which was Mac's first birthday, the social worker called me again and said that adoption fell through. If you're interested, he's yours. So I asked for 24 hours. I asked them to send me all the medical information, give me 24 hours to think about it, and looked at it, and I finally said, yeah, I'll take him. So,
but Mac was still living with his foster family.
Mac was with his foster family.
He never went to the other family.
He'd never gone to his biological family. He had some intermittent contact with them. Every month or two they'd get together at the social work's office or things like that, but not consistent contact. So he'd been with the same foster family since he was released from the hospital. So we started the motion to get there. It took about 4 months. His foster family, his foster mother was very particular about what was going to happen. He'd been through 3 failed adoptions,
Wow.
and she did not want that to happen again. She wanted me and my family to be there for 2 weeks, which was not in our plan. Originally, we thought we'd be there, 5 days or so, get him and come home, and she wanted more time for him to transition. So, and we agreed to that. It made me a little nervous because I thought, why does she have so much control over this? But in the end, I saw why. He was very attached to their family. So my mom and dad and I, all three of us flew out to California in July. We spent 12 days. The first few days I just spent going to the foster family's house, and I'd spend all day with them doing whatever, going grocery shopping, sitting around the house, whatever. I was just another family member.
And would start, to be around Matt.
Yes, I'd start caring for him and giving him his bottle and things like that. And then slowly we started releasing more. I would take him more, and by the last 4 days or so, he was with me and my family all the time.
How was Mac during this transition?
It was heartbreaking. It was really hard because I can remember in the hotel room, he would just lay his head on that pillow. He would not smile, would not laugh, and I thought, oh my gosh, he hates us. And I'm like, I don't know if I can take him away. And you'd take him back to that foster family, and his arms and legs would start going. He'd be so happy to see them. He had 4 foster siblings, and they adored him. And but by the end, he had warmed up. He was just as willing to be with me as he was with any of them. So it was very emotional. It was a very emotional time.
So you bring him home.
So I bring him home. We settle into the routine. And about 3 years later, I thought, I can do this again. Let's do it again. So I'd send out and I'd say, yes, I'd like to go active again and maybe adopt another one. Again, I didn't put any real parameters on, the disability. I did say if it was a girl, that'd be great. And I said if she was Asian, that'd be, icing on the cake. And so I got calls on and off this was probably from January till July, about different boys and girls. Only one boy that was no girls that were Asian. I had 4 boys that were Asian, and those all fell through. I wasn't selected for them. And then I got a new job in July, and in August, I called all the agencies I was working with and told them to take me off their list. I was going inactive for a while. I was starting a new job and couldn't handle it.
And how old was Mac at this time?
Mac was about 3 and a half,
okay.
Yeah.
And was he starting school or preschool?
Yes, he would be starting preschool in the fall, yes. And so that was August. Kit's birthday is August 19th. August 21st, I get a call from Robin Steele at the Down Syndrome Adoption Network out in Cincinnati, and she calls and says, Jill, I know you told me you were off the list, but I had to call you because you came to mind immediately, and I told the people you probably weren't interested, but I would check. And she said, there's a family in California that has a 2-day-old little girl with Down syndrome, and she's Chinese. And she said, it's everything you asked for, but if you don't want it, I understand. She said, I will tell you, I'm not sure they'll pick you because they would really like a 2-parent family. And I said, okay, well, throw my name in the hat. Chances are they won't pick me, so.
Yeah.
So we did, and a couple days later I got a call from the birth parents and started talking to them, and this went back and forth for several weeks of them calling me, and then Robin calling me and saying, hey, could you send a video of Mac? Could you send this? I was sending lots of pictures and things, and
because they didn't understand, right?
Right, they did not understand. Why would someone want 1 child with a disability, let alone 2? They didn't, I was single, why would I want this? I really believe it was very cultural. The birth mother, made several comments to me over the time about how she would be, felt guilty. I feel so guilty doing this, but if I kept her, I'd feel guilty every day of my life, just because this is not what we thought, this is not what we planned, and I feel like she felt like it was her fault. She was a bad mother for having this child, and so I know it was very emotional for them too. So lots of questions, lots of talking back and forth, and finally, September 12th, it was midnight-ish Ohio time, I got a call from the birth family, and they said, we've picked you. We want you to, she was Lauren at the time. We want you to have Lauren. And I kind of believe that the day before was 9/11, and our whole country was a mess.
Yeah.
And I think that might have, because they were really dragging their feet and choosing me, and I'm kind of wondering, did that spearhead them, like, we've got to make a decision, we've got to do something, and so that September 12th, I remember, is when they called and said, hey, we want you to take her, if you will.
So you went to California again?
Well, again, she had more health issues. She had a tetralogy of Fallot, she had a duodenal atresia, she had a G-tube, so we had to do a lot of health stuff. She was still in the NICU at that time. I told them I needed 2 weeks notice once she was cleared to fly and stuff to tell school at my new job. And she didn't get out of the hospital. It was in October. They called and said, "Can you come tomorrow?" And I said, "No." I said, "I need, I can come in 2 weeks." And they said, "Well, she's getting out of the hospital and we can't bring her home." And I said, "I'm sorry, I can't, So they did end up bringing her home, but they had gotten rid of her nursery and everything. They had to take her home for those 2 weeks. So November 7th, I believe it was, a friend and I flew to California. We went right from the airport to the adoption agency where we met with the birth parents, and birth mom was all business, telling me how to care for her, how to feed her, when the medicines, how to give the medicines, things like that. Her birth father, the whole time, paced around, just holding her and stroking her. And again, it's so bittersweet. It's such a hard thing when you're so happy for yourself, but so, so sad for other people. We're making this really, I start to cry thinking about it. They're giving you this greatest gift you can get.
It's life-changing.
And it's life-changing for both of us on both sides. The next day in California, we had doctor's appointments. We went to the cardiologist, we went to the pediatrician, I think 2 or 3 doctors, and the following day we flew back to Ohio with her. So,
what a wonderful stories.
Yeah.
So why do you think it's important for people to hear your stories?
I think it's important for people, any adoption, it's important for people to see what a wonderful option it is. My eyes have opened, I've done a 360 since doing the process myself. But I think adoption of special needs, and not necessarily just kids with Down syndrome, but there are so many kids that need homes, and it's not. Everybody says, "Oh, it's easy for you because you chose this." That's the only difference between probably me and you with Eve. Yeah, I chose this route to go, and some people wouldn't. But all the trials and struggles and hurdles and medical stuff and the fighting the system or fighting the schools and all that is the same as what you have. But also the, things like taking your first step, or, the first time Max signed more. I mean, it was a celebration all over our house. Oh my God, let's get him to do it again. And, all those little things that people just expect their kids to do. We expect our kids to do it, but we know it's going to be a major feat sometimes for those things to happen. So that makes it so much, so worthwhile. And I think people, if they're considering adoption, they also have to know it's not something you have to do alone. It's not just, I put in a lot of legwork myself before realizing what support was out there. And a lot of it was by word of mouth. Someone would tell me to contact this person because she knew somebody who did this. And, but there is lots of support. There's financial support. A lot of times if you adopt a child with special needs, like my kids both came with medical insurance from the state of California. Benefits. You can get a stipend, you can get that. There's also the emotional support of, hooking you up with people who have adopted nearby, and people, like you guys who support you whether you're an adoptive family or not. But there's lots of resources there to help you make that choice if you decide to adopt.
Tell us more about Mac and Katherine.
I have 2 extremely opposite ends of the Down syndrome spectrum. Mac is pretty much your stereotypical kid with Down syndrome. He's always been pretty easy, always been, for the most part, happy, laid back, goes with the flow, doesn't complain much, easygoing. I've often said if I had adopted Kit first, there never would have been a Mac, because I would have been one and done.
Kit is a spitfire. Yeah, I love her there.
So then along comes Kit, and like I said, I got her at 10 weeks. I brought her home. At 17 weeks, she had open heart surgery. And I think it took her much longer to recover from that surgery, socially, emotionally, than it did physically. Physically, she was good in a couple weeks. It wasn't until, but that first year, 14 months of her life, she was kind of like a little blob. I mean, she wasn't fussy. She, rarely cried, but she also wasn't happy or animated or any of the stuff you see now. But when that hit, about 18 months, she took off, and it was no looking back. I mean, she's my way or the highway, large and in charge, and it's always been that way.
So they're both doing really well now.
They are. They are. Yeah. So for the most part, Mac's done well. Both of my kids were fully included at our school. Kit, of course, needed more support because of her behaviors. Mac was your typical, his behavior was so good you didn't realize maybe that he needed more support because he was just a good student. He followed the role, he was a role model and, you know, did what the kids are supposed to do in school. You sit there, you open your book, you know, where she wasn't always that way. He graduated, he went to the BGSU Firelands program for students with intellectual disabilities. He graduated from there. He lives on his own and he works 3 days a week at a nursing home in our area. So, and then Kit graduated last year, and she is following in his footsteps, and she's also in the BGSU program. She goes there 3 days a week, and she works about 6 hours a week at a little restaurant in our neighborhood.
I can't wait for the audience to meet them. Yeah. We will be right back with Mac and Katherine.
How's your day going? Oh, I love your new smile. That is the cutest. Can you show me again? That is the cutest. I like that new smile.
Welcome back. I am here with Mac and Katherine. They've joined us today. Hello, Mac. Hi, Katherine.
Hi, shopping.
I'm so glad you're here today.
What's eat?
I'm doing well. My dream.
Your what?
Your dream.
You're living your dream?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm 25.
You're 25? And you have a job, right?
I do. I worked 2 years. 2021. I worked at Iowa nursing home. I'm working wash dishes, meal, delivery, with technically delivery meal in an apartment.
You do lots of stuff there.
Yeah. And what about you, Katherine? How old are you? I am going to show them this book, but I want to know how old you are first.
You don't know how old you are? Okay.
I drive for her RC 22.
You're 22?
I'm 21.
You were 21, now you're 22. Yeah.
And you also have a job, right, Katherine?
Who'd you see at work one day?
Yeah.
Who'd you see at work one day? Who did you see?
Oh, who? Think.
Eve's dad you saw at
Eve's
work.
dad.
Yeah. Where,
That's-
I saw Alice's grandma.
you saw Abby's grandma? Where at? Where do you work?
This, yeah.
Yeah. You work at Latitudes? What do you do there?
Let me tell you.
You want me to tell them? Clean tables. What else? Fold silverware? Anything else?
She was the perfect hostess.
My boyfriend is grandma.
So I have this this book with me, and Jill, you wrote an article for this book,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
What's the article about?
The article is about my adoption story. They had asked me to, submit something to the book about our adoption. So,
But this book is no longer
as
in
far
print.
as I know, I
think?
don't think it's in print. I let someone borrow mine, and I didn't get it back, so I had to buy that one off of eBay. And I think I paid twice the amount I had originally paid for it. So, maybe it'll come back in. I
Yeah.
like the concept of the book. It was what kids can do instead of telling you.
I want to
you know,
borrow
how
it
to-
from you.
Yeah, you can.
No.
I remember when we first got our diagnosis with Eve, we went to the library, and I did not see this book. I would have remembered it, but
Right.
when we were doing our own research. So Mac and Kit, let's find out more about you. Mac, do you still live at home with your mom?
No, I live on my own. Yeah, I live on myself years ago. I live on my own. Do something like cleaning stuff for kitchen, water room for vacuuming stuff.
You gotta clean your whole house yourself, don't you?
Your bachelor pad? Is that what you call it? That's what your mom calls it. And what about you, Kit?
I have a
Catherine?
You hang out with the dog at my house.
dog. I have a dog. It's Wrigley.
The dog's name is Wrigley, yes.
Cute. You help take care of the dog?
Yeah. You had a dog. What's for him? Mama will take care of stuff. My school stuff.
The school stuff.
You
I
go
do school stuff, yes.
away. Leave our
My
house.
sister can go to school. Started busy a few parents. Took my place.
Kit took your place at BGSU Firelands. You were there, now Kit's there. Yeah.
What else do you do besides work? What do you like doing?
I like watching TV. My favorite show, like, I just do like different stuff. I like smart TV. I have don't have a cable. Watch Netflix.
Oh, I love Netflix.
You do anything else besides watch TV?
Yeah, I like video games. Like I played zombie game, like Black game, very hard game. I played Fortnite. I played all years. Every time, every day.
I'm not very good at video games.
My sister is King Disney School.
Those are what you like watching?
Mm-hmm.
What else do you like to do,
Hey, well-
Catherine?
Monster High 2.
You like Monsters High too? What else do you like to do at home?
What?
What do you
Dance and sing.
Dance and sing, yeah.
Stay up all
I
night.
like TikTok.
We
Oh,
both like making TikTok.
Yeah, make a
TikTok.
video of training songs or
And stay up all night.
I have 6,000 followers on TikTok.
What? You have 6,000
Emmy.
followers?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I have 6.
Emmy.
You better start following Maria.
Yeah,
You can
please.
follow me.
Yeah,
Okay, I will follow you. What else do you like to do, Kit? Do you make
Yeah,
TikTok
TikTok.
videos too? Oh, you do? Do you
No.
make videos?
She can.
Yeah? I'm gonna have to look you guys up. I want to see these videos.
Right.
Go see me, my pants. And the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, don't
Oh,
wear
you
pants like
did that.
Yeah.
So are you guys involved in any activities? I heard you ran a 5K. Was it a 5K? Nick?
Yeah, instead of walking there, past to BMW, our group there, to walk there.
Yep. We walked all the way down the pike, right?
Yeah.
Very slowly.
What about you,
I
Catherine?
can't.
You couldn't do it, could you? No.
But
Yeah.
what else do you do?
I stay home with my show.
You stay home and watch your shows a lot.
But
I stay up all night.
What do you like to do with like Desanio with Eve? What do you do on Mondays?
What?
What's Monday night?
Boat.
You went on the boat with Eve. What do you do on Mondays with Eve?
Well, if
Improv.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just started improv last year.
You did improv too.
I didn't like it.
Improv's fun. Your show's coming up. So, how has it been for them transitioning into adulthood?
I don't think it's been hard for them. It's been hard for me. I think that's, a huge, I thought school was tough, and then you get in the whole adult world and you got a whole new language and, all the stuff dealing with, Social Security benefits and housing arrangements and stable accounts and jobs and finding meaningful, if she didn't find a job, I don't know what we'd do. Finding something that's a meaningful place for her to go instead of staying home all day watching TV and dancing.
Yeah.
Luckily she's
TikTok.
got, TikToks, right. You don't want to do that all day long. So, that's a whole new ball game and planning for the future and what's going to happen when I'm not here and all that kind of stuff.
My picture? My picture is like meet Jake Paul. He's born in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, that's you in the future. That's your goal, right? That's on your bucket list to meet Jake Paul.
Oh, okay.
He's a Boston ambassador. He's trending on YouTube.
I haven't seen him either.
No, Jake and Logan Paul, they're from Westlake.
Yeah. Oh, are they're the fighters, right?
One of them's a fighter,
Yeah,
right?
one of them's
Boxing.
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 Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen
yeah,
that.
Logan.
I'm a boxing fan, so
Yeah.
yeah.
That's just my TikTok. That's just my picture.
Okay.
I just did.
You changed it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm not gonna keep mine.
But you are all involved with Desanio.
Oh,
and
yes.
You attended some of our programs, right?
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
Do you remember what you've done? You've done Steps to Independence. You've done the Sunburst Squad, the Social Squad.
Yeah.
We've done the gala.
Oh yeah, I seen you guys on the dance floor there.
Yeah, my ex-girlfriend, Danny,
Not good.
she went to improv too.
We love all this stuff. We'd do more if it wasn't so far. If it was closer.
Danny is nice, kind. She like danced with me on.
At the gala.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're nice to me. You're being friends now.
Oh, that's good.
You guys like the gala though, right?
Yeah, that is
You
fun.
like improv.
No, I think where?
Where? To the gala?
Yes.
Okay, you're planning what you're going to wear. Okay.
The Improvineers, they performed at the gala last year, so that was fun to see.
Did you wear Abby's dress? Okay.
Yeah, I'm still.
You were there, yep.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I am so glad that you guys were here today. Jill, your story is very beautiful, and I'm so happy that you have shared it with the audience.
You're welcome.
Any last comments?
Just I've been very blessed, the whole experience. It's been a learning curve for sure many times, but I've been blessed with great kids and great support from a variety of people, including you guys. So.
Yeah, rewarding but challenging.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, let's say bye.
Bye.
Say bye.
Bye.
Catherine, we're
you say
saying
goodbye?
bye. We're
Bye.
ending the show.
The show's over.
My birth parents, my mom.
No, I'm not your birth parent.
Jill now.
No, I'm your parent. Yeah, I'm your mom.
I want to friends or family share a moment.
You like to share moments with friends and family?
I mean, two on.
Yeah.
Yeah, my memories are different.
Yep, you got lots of memories.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you
Well,
next month
I
on
mean-
Something Extra.